Flavor 105.5 FM. I love the sound effects. So now we have our second guest in the building. We have 2 out of 4 of the voice of the voiceless. Say what up, people.
Yo, same Mike. Jay Thriller, Michael Action. Mike talk a lot.
Michael Action now.
Equal spiritual, beautiful mind, Lucifer. Jesus Crack, I'm in the building.
Okay.
All right, Nate Peter Ghost, Barack King X, Kuta Kente, 1 foot off.
1 foot off. Wait, y'all got those are different ones. They're not the same ones that I hear on Tuesdays. When did Michael Action get in there?
Michael Action been around for a while.
What is this?
Michael Action came out at the same time as Michael J. Thriller.
I didn't hear that one.
I heard, you know what it is? He rearranged half the
because
stuff
he
said.
added words.
Yeah.
Okay.
He added
Bro.
It's like the
Give me a
foot.
shout out to, to the man Keys, the Thor,
Mr. Moscato, the most interesting man walking probing the earth or something.
and shout out to Super Joe. Just say,
Keep it real.
He called me and said, Tell, thanks for inviting him on the show. He had to go to church with his wife.
He's called me too.
All right, so he wanted
And he came on the show before. Were
Yeah.
you guys supposed to come the first time?
That's what you got to put some good
came on?
Yes, he came.
Yeah. He didn't see the message, did he?
Nah,
He don't be checking that. But he came and he sat with us and we talked and we took pictures like you didn't see our page. You supposed to be up on that.
Yeah, I seen it.
I'm just saying, you supposed to be up on that.
Anyway,
So let's talk about Voice of the Voiceless.
What Seth came on.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And I actually seen that online too, man. Keep doing your thing. I always look at it online afterwards.
And they have a good thing coming up now where they're doing their web designs and doing stuff like that. So, and it is free to the public, so that is something that we got to make sure that we promote. But I want to talk about Voice of the Voiceless. What is Voice of the Voiceless? I know it's a radio show on 91.3 WCUW, but how did it come about and what made you get involved with it?
I want to give a shout out to Brother Keith because I don't know if you guys know Brother Keith.
The guy from the Boys and Girls Club?
Yes.
Yes.
He's originally had the show first.
Really?
Yeah. So like that's going back. That's he had the originally show first. Brother Keith had the show, and he couldn't do the show no more, so he contacted Brendan Jenkins, and Brendan Jenkins started doing the show. Kept the same name, Voice of the Voiceless.
Okay.
And then one time Tyrone Gamble, he was on a show with Brenda, and then
Tyrone was playing wild.
Yeah, Tyrone he'll just play like the whole Jay-Z album.
That was the Voice of the Voiceless.
The whole album, first verse and everything. 30 verse and everything. Shout out to Troy, because Troy was like, yo, you can't do that. No first word. But like, so Tyrone did the show for a little bit. Then I ended up coming on doing the show with me, Brenda, and Tyrone. And then Brenda left the show, and then it was me, Keith, and Tyrone. And then Tyrone left the show. It was me, Keith, for like a couple shows, and Trooper Joe came on the show.
Okay.
And then after that,
I was before Trooper Joe.
You before Trooper Joe?
Look, he over there getting salty in your feelings.
Right. So it was me, Keith, and Mike for a little bit, and then Trooper Joe came on the show. And shout out to Trooper, the financial person on the show, the millionaire.
Money bags.
Yeah.
Okay, so so the show was there, and what drew you to the show to want to do the show? Because it's a powerful name, Voice of the Voiceless. Yeah. So with that, who are the voiceless?
I actually hate that name, man.
I don't even know what to say to that.
Because of the history and the you know what I mean, the emotional capital and emotional equity involved with it, because it would have been a little. But I hate that name, man. It's kind of, to me, I feel like it's kind of like overly poetic, like Voice of the Voiceless.
Overly poetic.
I don't feel like it doesn't have an oomph, but some people seem to like it.
I think they like it because it actually fits you guys. Because a lot of, if you look at the media, if you look on the radio, nobody talks about the stuff that
the
you guys talk about, and nobody talks. And a lot of times when you listen to it, you hear I hear Nate say it. I was like, I can't believe he just said that. Mm-hmm. But I'm glad he said it, because I wanted, it's like I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't have said it. It would have been like, oh, let's ask the nice questions. How's your love life? I'd be like, now look, man, there's black people dying. What are you going to be doing about it? What do you think about it? So that it is the voice of the voices. You're the voice for the communities that don't seem to have a voice in media. I mean, like if you think about radio stations, you think of like Jim Polito, Jordan Levy, a lot of those for local radio stations, and they don't speak about people. They don't speak about our people at all.
I agree with you. One time, this kid, somebody on my Facebook was like, "Nate, ain't you guys like kind of like saying that you guys don't have a voice? So the voice of the voiceless." And he's like, "Ain't you guys portraying what people say about you people? Like you guys don't have a voice as your name." So I like the way you described it, and I really couldn't really give him no explanation to it. I was like, the name was there before I came. You know what I'm saying? It's a hot name. Stop hating.
But to answer Chantel's question, like the voices, I would say is it is kind of what Will alluded to. It's black and brown people is people of color, is poor people, is women, is LGBTQ, is everybody who ain't getting a fair shake, man. Everybody who's underrepresented, everybody who's misrepresented, people who don't know that they even had something to say. Like Will said, there are a lot of moments sometimes throughout the years we've been on something we said, and somebody like even Nate or even crazy to say, Keith would say something. I was like, damn, I ain't never thought about it like that. And then that leads off to a whole different set of thoughts. Yeah, it is kind of crazy that Keith would do that.
Did you just like the name now?
No, I don't like that.
The name fits the show.
It really does, because I do like the fact that the stories that do come out and the guests that you have on the show, you do hold everybody accountable and you go across the board. So I respect the fact that you don't sugarcoat with anybody. So you keep it 100. So I want to say kudos to that. You know what I mean?
I have a question though. Like, do you guys ever like after the show? Like want to go outside and settle differences, because sometimes it gets testy there. Like sometimes I'll be like, man, I wish I was there so I could like say, look, let's stop and pray or something. Because I mean, Keith's not here and Troop's not here, but I mean, y'all clash heads a lot.
Just y'all four.
Yeah.
Not the guests.
Yes. To tell you the truth, this last week, oh my God. I had to call Dred after that. I was like, Dred, I can't do this with this dude Keith. I mean, like it was just. Like some of the conversation we have, like sometimes we agree and sometimes we disagree. Like we're like total opposite side of the pendulum. You know what I mean? So, and sometimes we talk about passionate stuff. I believe that I'm passionate in some of the stuff. So a lot of times I let my emotions get a little bit too into the conversation, and then I'll take it outside afterwards. And we don't never go to blows or nothing, but it gets real close.
It sounds like it. It sounds like
it gets real close.
But I think that's good though, because it shows that you guys don't all think the same.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's like you're also showing people that you can agree to disagree at the same time. Because once you leave the show, you not walking outside like, yo, I'm not talking to you. Like it's over. Like don't come back next week.
Sometimes
No. I know it comes up, but y'all still on the show every Tuesday together. Yeah. You understand what I'm saying? So you're showing black people, because and there's people of color, but anyway, you're showing black people that unity is amongst us, even when we disagree.
Yeah, I think that's actually a very important piece too, because like each one of us, well, namely myself and Nate, but even Troop sometimes has gotten really like Keith is his own world.
Look, stop bashing my Keith. Look, don't be talking about Keith like that.
He love Keith. He with the team, man, but
he's different.
He not going with the play a lot of times. Like we call this play, he's doing his own thing, and
he called audible.
He called it by himself though. By himself, like yo, the whole team is audible first. You can't call it audible for yourself, man. Sometimes like it's been some real points where people feel like some ways that take some time. So
you got shots fired.
If you listen to the show, you would already know this ain't nothing new though. If you listen to the show, you know this is what it is, man.
No, I want to tell you, like even Trooper Joe, like
yes,
like
Trooper Joe.
Listen, Trooper Joe. I know you guys are not here, but I'll throw you guys under the bus in front of your face too.
Yeah, so Trooper Joe, so let me talk about two different times before, and I just want to, there was one time.
Trooper Joe's come along, he used to be really close to Uncle Ruckus, man.
Okay.
When he first came on,
all right.
He was crazy one of those.
So there was one time where I agreed with Keith over all of you guys. And all you guys were like laughing at him, like, what's wrong with this guy? And I was like, Keith's the only one that got common sense there right now. And what it was it has something to the effect of fighting the fight, I believe, for homosexuals, mixing it in with the Black Lives Matter argument.
Mm-hmm.
And I agreed with him, but not for the reasons he was saying. It was like y'all was putting him on the spot and having to explain it. And then he was like trying to explain it, but he was like going to left field with it. And I wish I was there so I could explain it for him. It's almost like we have so many battles to fight. Maybe we should focus on one and then move on to the next one. Yeah. But it was like the way y'all was really getting on him. And then last week,
I agree with that though. I agree with we should only focus. And I think it does dilute Black people's plight. The homosexuals' plight and stuff like that. I don't know if I got that clear when I was talking to. Maybe.
Let me reiterate. I think that is the craziest. I almost swore. It's the craziest. they're gay Black. You cannot separate the oppression.
Right, but there's different areas in which you fight for the gay agenda than where you fight for the Black agenda. There's different areas. There's different approaches to fighting on it. And I'm not even saying that it's wrong to fight for the gay agenda or put the gay agenda on hold. I'm saying if a group of you want to focus on the gay agenda right now, then cool. But then let another group focus on the Black liberation agenda, and then once.
Why are we forcing people to separate their identities?
All right, now listen. I didn't want to talk about. So I'm just saying that was. I'm just saying like the way you guys have different opinions. I like it, but sometimes y'all do pick on Keith. It's like everybody was the guests were on him. But all right. So now last week,
said like race doesn't. What do you say? Like to end racism, we have to stop. Like what do you say? Like
he said something about his child support a couple weeks ago, and I know Nate was like, yeah. I was like, Nate. I literally was like, Lord, please just let Nate stay calm. Do not let Nate get, because Keith took the whole hour talking about his child support case. But anyways, last week also, Troop, Mike, you and Troop almost got into it when Troop was just like,
I wasn't there last week.
So it must have been the week before when he said you have to have a plan.
About what?
About the Black Lives Matter.
Because you said, listen, you can't change a monster. You can't tell a monster how to act like, you can't tell, I can't change a monster to be a normal thing. The monster has to change. So it's not how do I fix it, they have to fix it.
Right.
And,
white people,
right. And Troop was like, you have to have a plan. And you was like, no, you don't have to have a plan. They have to fix it. And I was agreeing with Troop because you could
man.
I'm just saying
you get beat up on Adam.
I was just saying you have to you can't just expect them. You can't say, hey, listen, racism is bad and it's your fault. And you say, oh, you're right, let's change it. No, you have to convince them. You have to find ways you have to have a plan, like he said. Because even when Julius was here, straight up, and I've said this a couple times, when he was here and I asked him, I said, what's the point of protesting? Like, what's the end game? And he said, there's like a sense of freedom, a sense of liberation when you protest.
Wait, is that Julius' voice?
Yeah, that's Julius' voice.
And shout out to my man Julius Jones. Does that sound like
Shots fired. Shots fired.
Go ahead.
Keep
doing it.
He has a calm, soothing voice.
He goes into his like his piano singing like loud singing voice.
If that's how you're gonna get free, then get free.
Hey.
So I was like, that's it. You're not nothing's happening with it. I said there has to be something else. There has to be an end game. There has to be a step-by-step plan of what you do to plan to change it. With things like OCOPI, there's a step-by-step plan. He just said there's a feeling of liberation when you protest. I said, no, you get in trouble when you protest, and that's why you're going through the whole thing you're going through now. There's no liberating in that. So
There's $100 fine. Let me say something, right?
Okay.
Did you guys see the R. Kelly interview when he walked out on the lady?
Yes, that disgusting piece of garbage. R. Kelly.
Which one is that? Interview or R. Kelly?
R. Kelly.
Okay. So he walks out, right? I didn't see the interview. I'm like, I really don't care, but I wanted to see what was the breaking point. What led him to walk out? And on the way out, he was like, sweetheart, you're really pretty or something like that. And she was like, yo, there's no need to speak on my appearance, right? And in his head, right? And I know a lot of men was like, yo, this chick is crazy. Like, you're just miserable. You don't even know how to take a compliment, right? he doesn't understand because when in power and privilege, they're oblivious to how your freedom to do whatever and say and do what you want impacts people, right? So
He was being condescending when he said she's beautiful.
Well, no, like I'm pretty sure that's worked a lot of times for him. Like,
Okay.
Because
All right.
men had
It's worked a lot of
Okay.
times.
No, because there's a narrative that says women love compliments. You know, no one's never heard that before.
Just say
Yes.
Right. So like
At the beginning of every positive impact show, Chantel sometimes come up here with her hair messed up, and I'm like, "You look good today," and she's just like, "Thank you, baby, thank you." And I know we gonna have a
The
good show.
lies you tell. The lies you tell.
What's up? But let me get to this though, right? So let me get to the reason why I'm saying that is right. So people in power, right, and privilege, like white people, like so like there's a whole bunch of men that like, yo, this chick is just miserable. Like she doesn't even know how to take. Like it shows that she has a bad attitude. He gave her a compliment. She didn't know how to take it, right?
Mhm.
He doesn't understand that like by doing that, you're really trying to diminish what my voice is and reduce me to just a sexual object, right? The people in power and privilege don't understand that. Same thing that translates to white folks. White folks are so oblivious, right? To like what like their existence and what it means to my existence or similarity to an existence, right? It's enormous that we don't even understand. You have black. I said this before when I was on the show. When they was advocating for police in school, some of the loudest voices was black and brown people, right? They don't even understand their oppression. So how do you expect black people to come up with the plan to stop this when this is a white person's disease?
And on that note, we're gonna take a pause for the cause, and we'll come back and we'll talk a little more.